up, fellas? It's me, the future of TNA. The smallest, scrawniest, and most believable heavyweight champion of all time. That's me, and not that other idiot who calls himself the future of AEW. I'm better than him. I'm smaller and scrawnier than he will ever be. I am the true neckbeard fanboy sensation. Brock Lesnar copied my haircut, not his. So remember, during this video, if that idiot shows up, if that idiot who calls him the future of AEW shows up, no matter what he says, don't listen to him. He's a wannabe. I am the true vanilla jobber and the next heavyweight champion. Right, so I gotta go. So don't forget what I said, right? If that future of AEW guy shows up, don't listen to him. I'm the future of TNA. The challenge with watching these AEW shows is that you have to readjust your expectations. These aren't the traditional kayfabe matches that look like a fight, like The Rock versus Stone Cold. No, these are the super fake performance art style matches where it looks like a bunch of friends just playing around. I mean, it's not presented as a fight. It's presented as like a stage show where these 5'2" performers show off their nerdy ideas. It's an environment where things like weight classes don't matter and wrestlers can have these supernatural powers where they can teleport around the arena. It's a super niche product that can be very confusing to mainstream audiences. Now, the first match on their card was the Casino Battle Royal, which demonstrates exactly what I was just talking about. I mean, this wasn't a fight. This was clearly a stage performance featuring people working together, right? Everybody was waiting outside the ring, waiting for their turn to go in, waiting for their turn to go on stage, right? When Orange Cassidy came down to the ring, everybody waited on the outside so that he could be in the ring by himself, doing his extended comedy routine. When Luchasaurus was getting ready to powerbomb Kip Sabian outside the ring, everybody outside the ring gathered together, waiting to catch him. Look, this looked absolutely nothing like a fight. It was clearly a stage performance featuring people working together. This match was also rife with little guys beating up big guys. Kip Sabian, who looks like he's like 5'2", 14 years old, was beating up Kazarian. Then little Darby Allin comes out and he beats up Kazarian. For a while, Kazarian was the only regular-sized guy in the match, and he's getting beat up by all these little guys. It was ridiculous. Then Big Luchasaurus comes out and he gets beat up by Darby Allin. It was absurd. I mean, can you imagine Brock Lesnar getting beat up by Taka Michinoku? If not, then how can you buy into this? Then Brian Cage comes out and the commentator starts selling about how big he is. Tony Schiavone was like, look at the size of this guy. But wait a minute. Two things. Number one, didn't we just establish in the match that size doesn't matter as Kazarian's getting beat up by all these little guys? And number two, Brian Cage was beat by little Tessa Blanchard. So why should anyone be afraid of him? So he wins the match and gets a title shot. But why would Jon Moxley be afraid of someone that got beat by Tessa Blanchard? Now, the next match was MJF versus Jungle Boy, and here's where 50-50 booking makes no sense. I mean, MJF is seen as one of the high potential stars in AEW. So then why is he in a 50-50 match with Jungle Boy, with all due respect to Jungle Boy? I mean, isn't that like The Rock being in a 50-50 match with Funaki? MJF barely beating Jungle Boy, it doesn't put him over, it puts him under. It's like The Rock barely beating Funaki. So the referee of this match was Aubrey Edwards, and I don't like Aubrey Edwards. And the reason I don't like Aubrey Edwards is because she's always overreacting to the moves. It's like whenever a wrestler does a move, she's like, oh, 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 you know, it's like she's drawing attention to herself. I grew up believing that a good referee is one that's almost invisible. That a good referee is one where you almost forget that he's even there. But it's impossible to forget that Aubrey Edwards is there because she's like, oh, 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 you know, Home Alone face, oh, you know. There was a part of this match where MJF and Jungle Boy were chopping each other on the chest. And Aubrey Edwards was like, oh, oh, like holding her own chest, oh, you know. Can you imagine if a UFC referee did that? Where he's like reacting to the moves? The UFC fans would be complaining like crazy about that referee. So I guess your opinion on Aubrey Edwards depends on what you expect out of a referee. If you're like me and expect that a referee is like almost invisible, then you can see how I don't like Aubrey Edwards. But if you prefer that a referee's like selling the moves, then I can see how you like Aubrey Edwards, because she does that a lot. So MJF barely beats Jungle Boy, rolls outside the ring, and calls himself the future of AEW. Now, how can someone possibly call themselves that when... What the hell is up with your face, and why do you have a skateboard? Are you trying to be Darby Allin? Me better get Darby Allin. Me the future of AEW. Well, can you do an entrance like Darby Allin? You idiot! Of course me can. What's this? Be careful. Be careful. What's this? Yeah, I'm watching. Whoa! Me so cool! Yeah. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. You keep doing that. Me will! Alright. So, the next match on the card was Cody Rhodes versus... Will you stop skateboarding around? It's distracting. Alright, so the next match on the card was Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer. And this was the first match on the card that felt like a real match. That felt like two competitors fighting each other. I laughed when Mike Tyson came out with that smile on his face. He's like Scott Steiner. He's like this tough guy that became a meme. And when Lance Archer chokeslammed that random guy, and Mike Tyson was like, that was really funny because it looked so natural. This Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer match was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My favorite part of the match was when Cody Rhodes hulks up but then gets knocked out, where he's like, ah! 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 It's like an RPG. It's like he ran out of hit points. So it's like, ah! 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 And he falls on his back because he ran out of hit points. So the next match was Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford, and we're right back to the silliness. After one real match, Cody Rhodes versus Lance Archer, we're right back to the goofy crap, right? We're literally supposed to believe that Chris Statlander is an alien that came to Earth and decided to join a wrestling promotion. Look, it's this kind of BS that makes AEW look like an indie promotion rather than a real mainstream promotion. Welcome to FTNA TV. That's Future of TNA TV, starring yours truly, the future of TNA, and not that wannabe in that stupid gray sweatshirt. A true champion does not skateboard, no. A true champion ridiculously cosplays as the Ultimate Warrior, and that's exactly the kind of champion that I'm gonna be. I am the true champion. I am the true neckbeard sensation, and I am the future of TNA. Ha ha ha. What the point of that was. So anyway, that's what I thought of the Chris Statlander match. Now, the next match was Shawn Spears versus Goldust. And again, it's another silly match, right? AEW fans claim to be enthusiasts of wrestling, yet they support this product loaded with nonsense and non-wrestling, alright? Shawn Spears has that little mohawk that parents give to their 6-year-old sons because they think it's cute, and this whole match revolved around someone getting their pants pulled down. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with being an elite wrestling promotion. So the next match was Shida versus Nyla Rose for the women's title, and in my opinion, this was just the second real match of the pay-per-view so far. And the thing is, I didn't even care about the match in the beginning. It was like Bayley versus Tamina, where it's two wrestlers working hard, but I don't care. But somehow, during the match, Shida started winning me over through her sheer effort. It is a credit to both wrestlers that I started the match not giving a crap, but towards the end of the match, I really wanted Shida to win. This match succeeded where Bayley versus Tamina failed. Now the next match was Luke Harper versus Jon Moxley. Now, I don't really have much to say about this match, and it's not because I'm hating on the match, it's because it's just basically, It's basically Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper in a no DQ match, right? Even if you didn't watch the match, you can pretty much accurately imagine how it went. You know, people getting thrown into stairs, smashed through tables, and there's this big spot at the end where they crash through something big. There's nothing to say. Even if you didn't watch the match, you pretty much know how it went. But it was a real match. In my opinion, this was the third real match of this pay-per-view. So the next match was a Stadium Stampede match. And honestly, I don't even want to talk about this match. I don't want to talk about this match because it's not made for me. It's not made for us mainstream audiences. This is a match made strictly for that niche core audience that AEW caters to. Those 700,000 people that watch every episode of AEW Dynamite. Those fanboys that like Joey Ryan and Orange Cassidy. Those fanboys that want that goofy style of wrestling and the stupid jokes. They don't care about things like believability, continuity, and storytelling. All they want are the stupid jokes. So this match was just a series of nerdy ideas come to life. LAX putting Matt Hardy in the water, and every time they lift him up, it's a different version of Matt Hardy. Then LAX looks at the on-screen graphics to see what's going on. Like, they can see the on-screen graphics. Chris Jericho gets super kicked on the football field, and Aubrey Edwards does the "it's good" motion because they're on a football field. Then Chris Jericho almost gets a 3 count, argues it to Aubrey Edwards, so they go in the NFL replay booth to review the footage. It's just nerdy stuff designed strictly for the core audience. It's nerdy indie wrestling with a big budget that's not for us mainstream audiences. So, what can I say about this pay-per-view? Like I said, it's a show where you need to readjust your expectation. I mean, this isn't going to be like the traditional SummerSlam event. It's going to be more like indie wrestlers doing goofy wrestling with a big budget. It probably satisfies those 700,000 fanboys, but in my opinion, it's not going to grow the mainstream audience. I mean, there were only actually 3 matches on the card. Real matches. Hey, I have a question. If you fought one of Bray Wyatt's puppets, who do you think would win? What do you mean? Why would me fight a puppet? Me, the future of AEW. You're a Cabbage Patch Kid. What? What's that? Me not a kid. Me a man. Okay. You're a Cabbage Patch Man. Get out of here! Hey, told you! That stupid Cabbage Patch Kid thinks he's a wrestler, when in reality we all know that I am the future of TNA. So he can take his skateboard and roll on out, because I am the vanilla jobber that will take us to the next level. Ha ha ha!